Hello leaders, my name is Shane Malcolm, Executive Director of Leadership Niagara, and this is Return on Leadership. And we're back with Mark Richardson, Manager of Cemetery Services for the City of Niagara Falls. So Mark, you were part of a project team. Mm-hmm. So what organization were you guys? You mentioned learning disabilities?
That's right.
Yes.
Learning disabilities of Niagara. Mm-hmm. And we worked, we engaged with the organization to develop what ultimately ended up being a promotional material, an information card.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the challenges that they face, and I think a number of nonprofits face within Niagara and I'm sure abroad, is the issue of information sharing and of awareness. People not understanding what their services are, the issues that they face. And so as a group, and it really, our group remained the same, but the project actually took on a different life. So what we ultimately created in the end was an information card, okay. Which I believe they still use to this day, and other groups have now built upon that progress. But it started with the development of a promotional campaign or an information sharing campaign, and ultimately really kind of channeled into this information card. And I know that they've held trivia nights that we've attended, and they use that at each of the events. So wow. That's incredible to see that our piece of our work as a committee was put to use.
Yeah. And what were there any challenges kind of going from your work within the city to then working with a group of relative strangers with an agency for the first time?
Sure. One of the challenges I think for each of us was that this was so dramatically different than what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I guess the beautiful thing of the program was that we had so many different perspectives and strengths at the table. Mm-hmm. On one hand, it could be viewed as a challenge, but I think we took that challenge and turned it into an opportunity, using everybody's different perspectives, both personal and professional. And we were able to channel that into a piece that I think was appealing for all. Speaking about personal involvement, each of us had some level of personal involvement that I think really made the project that much more special.
Right.
Steve has a son who's used, I think it was Reading Rocks, or was in the process of using Reading Rocks. At the time that we were picking our projects, it didn't dawn on me. I have a brother who's dyslexic, has experienced significant learning disabilities throughout his lifetime. And at the point that I was picking the projects, that wasn't a factor in my thought process. But after joining the group, that all just kind of, the floodgates opened, wow. Emotionally because of the experiences that we had. And Steve and I were able to sit and share about that. And the personal involvement, while I didn't reflect on it at the very beginning, now it's pretty, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was there any particular challenge that kind of stood out? The group coming together, norming, forming, getting the work done. Obviously, I think you said one of those key things being it's so vastly different than everybody's 9 to 5.
Yes.
So how was navigating that process for you?
For me, it was, and I try to focus on the positive. So while we had our hurdles or our challenges, we all came to the table with different ideas, and we all had different visions for where this project was going to go. But I think the way that we managed through that was we generated a friendship in each of our meetings. We got a little bit closer. We got to know each other a little bit more. And I think in doing so, we were able to appreciate the perspectives of each person at the table and incorporate a little bit of their vision or a little bit of their idea and perspective into the information card. So while it was a challenge, and some of our meetings we would walk away feeling as though perhaps we hadn't moved in the direction that we wanted to, or perhaps we were moving in a direction that we didn't agree with. But when you take all of that information and come back to the table the next time, I think we were all open-minded enough to understand that 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 we're working together or collaboratively to make a wonderful piece.
Want to hear more? Stay tuned in for the next part of this series on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.